for the Signal 50 podcast, where we talk about the hard truth about today's current events.
Welcome to the Signal 50 podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry we're so late. We had some technical difficulties to work through. I'm Alpha, and on the other end, with the technical difficulties that seem to have resolved themselves, is Bravo.
It's all my fault. I don't know how this sounds, but hopefully it doesn't sound too badly.
Perfect.
Technology is great when it works. When it doesn't work, it pisses you off.
Absolutely. Perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot for bearing with us. Bravo did a great job the other night there while I was terminally trapped in an airport, trying to get back from an undisclosed location, trying to wing my way home. And I flew directly into some storms in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And they diverted us to Houston because, it's always a good thing when the pilot comes on. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're out of gas.
Or they say, we can't land. We have to go somewhere else. You know what, though? If the pilot says, I can't land safely, fine. Get me somewhere I can land safely. Thank you.
Well, yeah. So pretty much, he's like, we're going to circle here. We're going to give this 30 minutes here circling. Then we're going to be Winchester fuel. And there's about 40 other planes waiting to do the same. So we're going to have to divert. So they flew us to Houston. And they parked us, and we're all like, oh, that's awesome. We're going to, be able to shuffle around, no problem. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Those of you with connections, you may as well bend yourselves over and kiss your own asses. Every plane is full. There's no alternate arrangements to be made. No services are available in Houston, and it's going to be about a 2-hour wait for a gate. So we're going to shut the plane down. We know it's going to get really hot in here, but we are almost out of gas. And
Av gas. No good.
We need go-go juice. We need go-go juice. There was no go-go juice. There were no refreshments. There were no toilets after the first hour. So life got very, very interesting for me. Not a lot of fun. Don't recommend it. Anyhow, that's over with. Thanks for bearing with us, and we're sorry. Sometimes, we do have day jobs, and those day jobs sometimes do get in the way of us having a good time picking on everybody out there. So everybody, thanks for joining us.
We don't pick on. We just call out the way we see it, balls and strikes. If it happens to be funny, then what the hey, right?
Well, exactly. And you know what? If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? You know what? It happens. I've been through worse on aircraft. Let me tell you something. So anyhow, we brought you a bunch of stories tonight from around the internet and around the world. Just to bring a little levity to everything. Everything's so serious right now. Everybody, it's been a tough couple of weeks, and the way that things are going, especially with the government, it just makes you want to start a 12 gauge. But you know what? We're just going to start off with something really a lot of fun here. Some creative gentleman stole 185 gallons of artisanal beer that was aging in a sunken ship off the coast of Argentina. Kudos to those guys. Congratulations. I know that this is not your ball of yarn, Bravo, but I know a couple of guys out there that are listening right now that would have probably held their breath long enough to go collect that beer and make off with it. So
let me ask you a question. Is this beer put underneath the water on purpose for the pressure?
Yeah, they were aging it.
To age it? Really?
Yeah. Yeah, there's some gimmicky stuff out there in the world, and this is one of those things. And if it works, great. There's a brand of bourbon out there called Oceana. They take and they put it on a boat, and they put the barrels on a boat, and they let it rock and roll on the waves of the ocean to age it a little bit faster or a little bit more completely. Some people like it. I'm not a fan.
I was going to say, how much does it cost? I can't imagine how much it costs.
More than it's worth.
See? Then, go to the liquor store and buy yourself whatever. There you go.
Exactly. Not that you would know. Anyhow.
Hey, I tried it. It just doesn't sit well. I don't get it. Anyway.
So you know what? Let's get into one of our favorite topics. Everybody is sitting there still talking about the coronavirus, which probably will be gone by April.
Again, you can't go too fast, because if it does go away too fast, then everyone's going to say, hey, wait a minute, what the hey? And then, there you have it.
Yeah, what the hey? Now there you have it. And the undisclosed location where I was, it was like was actually pretty cool because nobody was wearing masks and there were no two shits to give from anybody, and it was
why can't that just happen all over?
It was nice. Most of that part of the trip was nice. Other parts were, a little more, work related. Had a good time. While I was off on my my work adventure, but
it's time. Let's get back.
Nobody's sick. Nobody's dying.
I know.
The cases are down 73%. Oh, but wait, there's a new variant out there that could ruin all of our progress. Go shit in your hat, dude. We're so tired of your shit, Fauci. Get the fuck out of here.
Fauci really is. Not only is he overstayed his welcome, but he really his credibility has gone down to zero. It was zero when I saw it, but now we're just all looking around saying, "Told you so."
Yeah, told you so. After we spent trillions of dollars, and the Democrats just want to spend 1.9 trillion more bailing out their Democratic buddies. Where Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, is like, "Yeah, y'all, we're done with this shit. Moving on. Everything is going to open. Everybody take off your masks. We're done with this shit." Florida's the same way. Alabama, Mississippi, South Dakota. Let's see who else has got a free state. I think Idaho is finished with it, and my understanding is
never started.
Well, Kristi Noem, hello,
awesome. Yep, awesome.
Yep. She's awesome. Yep, part of the dream team for 24. Part of the dream team for 24. So anyhow, we're going to talk about something else here, shifting slowly here. Everybody, I know a lot of people are getting this vaccination, and my understanding is it's not really working all too well. People are still getting sick, but they're
sick with what? The flu, sick with pneumonia, sick with all the other stuff that goes along with what goes on, and not just COVID, which was made up, in my opinion. After seeing all this information, I don't know.
I'm not sure it was made up. I think it was a thing. I think it was a variant of a flu. And certain people were very susceptible to it, and most people weren't. And both the people that were susceptible had comorbidities and were elderly with compromised immune systems and were fragile and susceptible to the secondary infections. So let's talk about your boyfriend, Andrew Cuomo.
Not my boyfriend.
Oh, he's totally your boyfriend. Oh, you love him.
Nope.
Yeah. I know a couple of people listening that they love this guy. They want to buy him a beer and sit there and slap him on the back really, 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 really hard, if I had to guess. Really hard.
I'm guessing they won't, just to be honest with you.
Well, really, really, really hard.
Yep.
Like with a truck. Anyhow. So looks like Andrew Cuomo, the state legislature is the Democratic state legislature is striking a deal to strip him of his emergency powers because he's a buffoon. He's gone far enough. These people, their constituents, are absolutely screaming bloody murder. Which I can't doubt, blame them for. How many lives and livelihoods does this guy need to ruin? So you know what, they're pretty much finished with him.
You know what though, I will say that the emergency powers that he's been running off of, and this domino effect is going to start with the other states too. If you haven't noticed, I think everyone's had it in New Jersey, everyone's had it in Michigan, everyone is just
There's a story coming out of Michigan that we're going to cover on the next episode.
Sure.
There's some breaking stuff coming out of Michigan that I think we all need to pay attention to. The health commissioner resigned in kind of under some circumstances, and there were rumors of some payoffs and some hush money being paid by. Shh. Yeah, exactly. Those are just rumors. We're trying to confirm those to get that story out to you. Well, unfortunately, we can't break that. But it's also interesting. Cuomo's got he's got a little Me Too problem, doesn't he?
Hey, believe everyone. If they say it, they believe. Let's believe it, right?
Well, where's Kamala Harris? I mean, she believed everybody that blamed Kavanaugh. I mean,
Wait,
blame
wait,
him.
wait. Alpha. Hold on a second. If you're a Republican or you're being
Oh.
nominated to the Supreme Court by a Republican or a conservative,
Oh.
then it's a believe everything, go get them, take away their birthday, all that stuff. However, if you are a Democrat, I believe they've been trying to cover for him until this came out, where Cuomo was accused of unwanted advances at a wedding. Can I kiss you? Not to mention the people that worked with him. I want to touch you or play strip poker. All these things are coming out. You know as well as I do, Alpha, someone has got to be correct in one of these things, but someone had the pictures and the receipts to prove it, took pictures. Look at where his hands are. This is for the podcast listeners. His hands are around her ear, neck area, like you're going to pull someone towards you to kiss them. And she looks like she just wants to get away.
Either she just ate one of those candy warheads, or she's just not really terribly happy about where creepy Andrew Cuomo's hands are.
Well, if this doesn't,
does anybody think that this might be why his trophy girlfriend Sandra Lee, remember her? Food Network Sandra Lee, beautiful woman. Does anybody maybe think that that's why she adiosed him?
I'm gonna say ding 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 ding.
I would say that's probably a pretty good guess. Knuckle Cakes from the Ville calls him a turd ball. All right, thanks, Knuckle Cakes. Yeah, I'll go with you on that one. But anyhow, it's great to be back after just kind of to come back and then have technical difficulties like we did was terribly frustrating. So sorry to keep everybody up. I'm glad you're bearing with us though. Anyhow, this Cuomo guy, I can't even with this guy anymore. And what's absolutely stunning is believe everybody, me too, blah, 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 blah. And what you said about Democrats, when you're conservative, you're going to get the shaft. I find it absolutely amazing that all of a sudden people are caring a lot more about this and inappropriately touching people, which is no small thing, not belittling that, than him killing grandma in the nursing homes.
Can I want to float a theory real quick. I know it's kind of late, but I think it's important that we talk about this. If we go back to when COVID started, if we say to ourselves, this was a narrative, this was a way to take down the administration because the economy was humming, everyone was happy, everyone's had a job that they wanted, and this was a concerted effort to take everything away. They are focusing on Cuomo's sexual misconduct over, like you mentioned, 12,000 deaths that are on his hands and blood is on his hands. They would rather sacrifice him this way and make it this story, not the real story, which is the mishandling and the complete buffoonery that he did while he mismanaged the COVID crisis.
I think it was, okay, Andrew, choose the form of your destruction. You want us to hang 13,000 deaths around you, or do you want to just inappropriately have touched a bunch of people?
That's the lesser of two evils to preserve the narrative. I think that's
right. That's right.
Preserve the narrative because the Democrats all know that they are in big trouble. And if you look at even just a quick segue to the Capitol January 6th riots that occurred, Ray is talking about how it's a terrorist act.
Oh, I'm going to say something about that. Hold on a second here. So you've got the feckless, basic piece of human shit, Christopher Wray, calling that an act of domestic terrorism. How dare anybody that would do this as a domestic terrorist if you're invading government buildings and this, that, and the other thing. Well, where was this asshole while they were trying to burn the federal courthouse down in Portland?
Where
was
across the street?
Well,
from the White House?
Yeah. Well, exactly. Now, where was this asshole while the city of Minneapolis burned to the ground? Was that domestic terrorism, or was that just an expression of frustration and anger
Peaceful
over
protest.
or mostly peaceful but fiery protest? So he can pretty much, orally copulate me. I'm done with him too. This guy is just a piece of shit. He needed to go a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that he did do, that he is doing, he slowed down some disciplinary stuff on the FISA abuse to wait a little bit for the Durham investigation, because I do think that something is happening there. And I think what's happening there is probably too big to be covered up or swept under the rug.
Mm-hmm.
And Durham is a special prosecutor. He can't be touched.
Right. I talked about this in your absence. From
Yes,
last
you
time.
did.
I was
Yes, you did.
curious what you thought about that, Alpha, because I knew that this was an important issue that we're
Yes.
all looking at. But what's your thoughts on this? Because I thought I'm still waiting, and we're waiting for the second coming. Maybe, I don't know, but it's not. Is it going to happen?
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
I don't know. I mean, all signs point to maybe.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to see. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. Let's just hope it does. I remain a little bit hopeful, but I'm not going to be too optimistic. Right?
Okay, that's fair. We're all still waiting, but I mean, he's not being pulled in two different directions. One for the U.S. Attorney's Office in Connecticut versus now he's got the special prosecution and that he's running. He can do whatever he needs to do. He could have done that before, but now he doesn't have an inspector general over his head trying to tell him what he can do and he can't do, I guess.
That's right. He's kind of a free agent at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. You've got basically we've got a Congress and a Senate and a White House and a State Department. Our government now is completely off the rails and running at breakneck speed to just completely destroy everything that Trump did in a positive way for this country.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take a look at what's going down at the border.
Mm.
I have a contact, a source of information that tells me who happens to be a CBP officer, by the way, stationed down on the border near one of the Texas border towns, let's just say. And as we speak, they are refitting all of the detention centers back to the way they were. They're reopening all of them, even with the cages. Just like Obama built. And they are now beginning to construct hotels for people that are going to cross the border en masse, where they can stay for 6 months, get schooling, get education, get a check, get into the social support system into this country, and be granted citizenship and all of the accoutrement that you and I work so hard for. Nice, huh? Let's also not forget what just happened in California today. Was anybody paying attention to a Ford Expedition loaded with like 23 people that were 27 people, 17 were killed, something 17.
Like that? The last time I checked, the weight rating and the maximum number of people is 9.
Yeah, well, we're over that just by a little bit, and they got into some kind of a fender bender with an 18-wheeler full of crushed stone.
Oops.
Oops. Yeah, I know a couple people out there in the world right now that are listening to us that understand exactly what happens when you crash into something like that. 17 people died in that wreck, and they were all illegals, smuggling illegals. So, just wait, stand by for more. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Everything's just hunky fucking dory, and we're just going to keep doing what we're doing. It's great, huh?
Unbelievable.
It's terrible.
I mean, you can't control that vehicle. You can't do anything with it when it's doing that kind of stuff. So, anyway.
I heard that.
Yeah,
Anyhow.
those of our listeners here probably could figure out what we do. You could
Pretty
probably
much,
figure out what
yeah,
we do last time too, but that's right.
yeah. Anyhow, so we've got a whole lot of stuff going on there, and I would expect to see a lot more of that activity go on in this country. We're going to get driver's licenses for illegals and citizenship and social security checks, and you're going to have 23 and 24-year-old kids in high school that are illegals. They're going to be juniors in high school. They're going to be 24 years old, and no big deal, right?
And seeing that they're women and they're going to use the ladies' bathrooms and play girl sports.
Right.
Yep.
Just like the two 23-year-olds that raped the 16-year-old girl here in the county I live in one of the high school bathrooms. Yeah, but if you're a U.S. citizen and your kid goes to school and has special needs, they toss your kid out the day they turn 21, regardless of where they are. But, if you're an illegal and you come marching across the border or swim or whatever, I don't blame you for trying to find a new life. Just sign the frickin' book.
Mhm.
If you come across the border in any fashion that's untraceable, they'll just go ahead and give you whatever the hell you want. You're 23, 24 years old. Yeah, no big deal. We'll just make you a junior in high school. It's fine.
No, here's the reason why. Because you're going to vote for Democrats. You'll thank us for what we've done for you. Stick it up your tailpipe.
Let's ask those 17 dead folks what Democrats and illegal immigration did for them. They got smuggled across the border by a bunch of coyotes because nobody bothered to stop them, and they got them killed.
Mhm.
So kudos, congratulations. That's awful. I'm not going to dance on their graves. It's horrible tragedy, but it was very preventable.
Mhm.
Follow the frickin' law.
Yep.
So I don't know. So let's circle back to our girlfriend Raggedy Ann Psaki.
Oy.
Back in 2012, 2013, she made an embarrassing admission in a press briefing video that the administration lied about its Iran negotiations. And there just happens to be a judge out there, and they're in the middle of a lawsuit that says, yeah, not so sure you get to pick and choose what the people hear and what the truth is and what the truth isn't. So Jen Psaki could be in a little bit of hot water.
I'll believe when I see it, their alpha, just because she's a Democrat and Biden is absent from the helm, I would just say.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you, but this just goes to show what a bunch of lying shitheads that we have in our government right now. It's terrible. They hated Trump. They hated Trump because he just told the truth.
Yeah. Truth hurts. I know. I get it.
It's terrible. So you know what? It's just absolutely. She's absolutely embarrassing. She's an embarrassment to this country. She's an embarrassment to herself. I miss Callie McEnany, and apparently she's working for Fox News now.
And what show is she on? I know she's gonna be a commentator. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Rumor has it. I haven't turned that piece of shit channel on in I don't know, 3 months.
I haven't either, but if she's on, I may watch, unless she's going to go toe to toe with some dunces. But she'll put them into place, so that may be fun to watch. We'll see where that goes.
I don't care. It's unforgivable what they did.
Yeah.
It's unforgivable what they did. So we've got Cuomo in deep trouble. Yep, I think his days are numbered. He's either going to have to resign or he's going to get prosecuted for something.
Mm-hmm.
They're stripping his powers away, which is great, and I hope all the other states follow. Gavin Newsom is in California, the governor of California. He's sitting there pointing his finger at Texas and Mississippi and Alabama and Florida saying, oh, you guys are bad. Well, I got news for you, shitbird. You're about 10 minutes away from being removed from office.
He's got the number from what I heard was 1.8 million. All of a sudden, Newsom says everyone's signature must be verified. I said, where was that in November? That would have been helpful. They have to verify all that. I think, and it's on their expense, which I think they're doing. Everyone is verifying these addresses and these these signatures, and they're well above 1 million. That's the minimum they need. They're at 1.8. They'll do just fine.
Let me ask. He's going to ask for everybody that signed to produce ID, huh?
That too.
That too.
That was a must.
Yep. Okay, so that leads us to our next story.
Ding.
All right.
HR one,
Everybody knows that we've got a bunch of criminals in charge of our government at this point.
who have basically taken the Constitution and put it through the shredder and decided that we're just going to make things the way we want to and not follow our own procedures that they vote on in the House. They have to have certain procedures to get bills passed and run those through. They're not paying attention to their own procedures, let alone the Constitution.
Right. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about HR 1. Now, what HR 1 does, basically, it just universal national mail-in balloting, registration of 16 and 17-year-olds to vote, permanent early voting, minimal verification for online voter registrations, legalization of ballot harvesting, yay! Federal matching funds to candidates for private contributions, and voting rights for felons upon completion of their sentences.
Unbelievable. Do you?
Okay.
Oy.
Yeah.
This is
bad.
Federalizing an election. Takes it away from the local level.
That's
which
right.
Really makes me very angry.
Right.
Oh, they make me so angry.
Yeah, they make you angry. So anyhow, we're starting to experience that issue again there. Bravo. So what I'll tell you is what they're doing is they're consolidating their power. They're trying to pull power away from the states, which was never the intent of the framers, especially with voting. And remember, all elections and politics are local, right?
Yep.
And that isn't going to be the case. They want to run national elections now. It's not the way that the system was set up. It's
So I have a question.
Not a national system.
It's still got to get through the Senate, and it has to have the 60 vote rule is still in place, from what I understand. They haven't moved that out of the Senate yet. Is this, in your opinion, have any chance of getting through the Senate?
Absolutely.
You think so? They need 50 plus one.
Yeah, I think it's 50 plus one.
No, they need there's the procedure for the 60 votes. They have to have 60 plus votes to get it out of the Senate, for closure. And then they can, they can't, this isn't a budget reconciliation.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So there is some hope in the Senate. And anyone who's not paying attention, who votes for this garbage in the Senate, like Mitt Romney and Sassy Ass and all these other, and Collins, they all need to be voted out. But where were they? They were all following the coattails of President Trump from the last time. No.
These are terrible people doing terrible things with a terrible amount of power. And it's really getting absolutely frightening.
And let me ask you this question. If by chance the Senate sticks their head up their rectal orifices so far that they vote for this thing, is the Supreme Court going to step up and take care of their job and do what they're supposed to do? I have little faith that Roberts, the guiding light, dislight, if that's a word, there's no light in that courtroom. And
No.
the new judges are definitely suffering from new guy syndrome, and that includes Amy Coney Barrett, because she doesn't have, she doesn't seem to be standing up for anything except what everyone else says for her to do. Ridiculous.
What a disappointment. What a sheer disappointment she is.
Big old talk, no action, no respect.
Yeah.
The only three judges there, Alito, and Thomas, and
Clarence Thomas is a national treasure. Clarence Thomas is a national treasure.
Yep, and Amazon took his documentary off the TV, off Amazon. So if anyone's using Amazon, they should really just stop using it.
Well, unfortunately, everybody's using Amazon to an extent, even us, and we need to make a move there. So that leads us to some of the commentary here. These Democrats, anyhow, are going to go ahead and they're going to push the boundaries of power as far and as hard as they can, and just stand by. I said a couple of episodes ago, the next thing they're going to come for was the guns. I was one issue off. The next thing they're going to come for is your guns. So get ready for it. It's coming. It's just
that's going to get messy. Can I just No one's giving up their guns. No one's going to turn them in. No one's going to sign any paperwork. That is going to be the biggest civil disobedience since civil rights.
I should hope so.
Mm-hmm. I'm the people I'm talking to all say they're not taking my guns. I don't care what they say. They're not taking them. They're gonna put them in the basement underneath some kind of concrete lead floor. They'll never find them.
Well, that's fine. Like I've always said, guns can't swim. Take them boating. Anyhow, moving on. Moving on. Hey, listen. It's late. We had some technical difficulties. We've going to give you a half hour, a little bit more show tonight. We promise we're going to do a little bit better. Bravo's got an engagement tomorrow night, and we're going to stick together here, and we're going to wait for him to be able to come on and do a show. Maybe we'll do one on Thursday. Maybe we'll do one on Friday night, and definitely going to do one on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
So we brought you some of the stories that are out there in the news. There's a lot to talk about. A lot going on. We do apologize for being late tonight. Like I said, unforeseen technical difficulties that we had. Sometimes the internet just turns around and screws you, like it did to us.
And be careful. Microsoft came out with a statement where they want to fingerprint every single computer, and then they can shut you down with that fingerprint, depending on what sites you go to and everything else. This is bizarro world. Stop. I want stop the world. I want to get off. That's what I keep saying.
Does anybody out there understand what's going on around them with these people? Does anybody understand what has happened to this country in 2 quick months?
Is there any end or any stopping of this?
No, absolutely not. We're banning books. We're burning books. We're banning speech. We're going to tell people when and how they can speak about a political candidate and in what forum. You've got the tech giants censoring people. I'm still banned from Twitter. Don't know why. Not that I really give a shit. It's just, this is bizarre.
Mm-hmm.
It's not curious, like, looking at the circus freak going, "Ooh, that's bizarre. Let me keep looking." No, this is a train wreck,
mm-hmm.
and it won't stop, and you can't look away.
No, because everyone else is this is not the will of the people. This is not what we want. Just as a positive, I think anytime Biden was down in Texas when you were there for some event, wandered around like an Alzheimer puppy. He didn't know where he was or what he was doing. He had the shuffle that just reeked of neurologic dysfunction, and he basically had more crowds that had Trump signs and Trump flags on than he did any Biden supporters. And I think there was a shot from I think it was Right Side Broadcasting News, OAN. They had some kind of crowd across the street, which may have been paid Antifa, paid BLM. So this is optics 101, and they're trying everything to try to keep Biden in power, to let them just run the whole show behind the scenes that are not following any of the rules whatsoever. It's sad.
What I find very interesting is all of a sudden the vice president is in charge of all foreign policy. It's really getting to be really frightening stuff.
She's the commander in chief. I'm going to put her right out there. Is she the one that ordered that little jaunt in Syria?
I don't have any opinion on that one way or the other. I cannot confirm or deny any of that. What I can tell you is I don't like a bit of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with it. When we were in Syria the first time, there was a reason we were in Syria, and our former president, Donald Trump, pulled us out of Syria when the job was done.
Mm-hmm.
And he had to go in there. That was a necessity because of the mess that the previous administration made.
Mm.
And we were fighting a proxy war, a very short but intense proxy war against the Iranians.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently we're back at it again.
And no one's listening. Our representatives aren't listening. Senators aren't listening. They're just doing their thing. They don't care. And at least, maybe next time we'll talk about some of the voter integrity stuff that's going on that's actually promising.
There is some promising stuff going on. Somebody just texted me that
No.
What the hell? That is weird. Anyhow, that's very strange.
But you know how it goes. If we don't at least start talking about it and bring it to some level of consciousness that we can continue to get the word out, then maybe we'll make a difference somewhere along the way.
Yeah, Knucklecakes just shot me a picture of he's watching us on the big screen and just shot me a picture of his living room. Thanks a lot, Knucklecakes. Appreciate that.
We're on the big screen. Can't see our faces though because we'll get canceled. So that's the way the world works.
Yeah, it is. So, next go around, we're going to have to talk a little bit about the Coca-Cola company and some of the crap that they're pulling, which I find just absolutely fascinating. Apparently, vanilla Coke is not a thing because it promotes whiteness. That's kind of weird. Yeah. So we're going to have to get into a little bit more on the cancel culture and, the self-loathing crap that these corporations are pulling. And we're going to get into the whole tech giant nonsense on the next episode. Mm-hmm. But for right now, look, it's late. It's Tuesday night. Everybody's got a job to do tomorrow. Most of us have to go to work. You know how that goes, right?
Hey, we gotta do what we gotta do. We are the average American patriots who love about current events, and we're glad you could join us. And it's good to have you back. I love having someone else to talk to and bounce ideas off of.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. And let me put it out there for anybody out there that thinks that air travel or travel in general for work, whatever, is a glamorous thing. Let me tell you something. Sometimes it just sucks.
Yep. You know it. But I'm actually looking forward to get back to it because I am tired of being in my house for as long as I've been in my house for.
Yeah, it was nice to sit down in a restaurant without just walk in and don't play mask theater and pretend and just order your food and nobody's wearing masks because nobody gives a shit. It was nice. It was very nice.
I think everyone has to start walking around the states that make you wear masks just take them off.
Enough is enough.
No, I know.
Is enough. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot. We'd like to thank our affiliate, POF USA, POF-USA.com. They are the makers of the finest AR-15 style rifles anywhere in the world. They make a fantastic product made for Patriots by Patriots in Chandler, Arizona. And we're gonna come out next week. We're gonna get a little bit more information from our other new affiliates. We're gonna give you some more information there. We'll see how that all is going. We've been a little bit lax on that. Things have just been absolutely insane, and we do apologize for that. But speakfreely.site. We've got to get more into that. We're gonna have to promote that a little bit more and just get everybody a little bit more familiarized with Speak Freely. Could be a very interesting platform in the future, and it'd be really good to get the word out on that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got my account there. I mean, it's an interesting site, and you're seeing this parallel economy coming.
That's right.
We're gonna be careful who we sponsor and who we don't, because we got this nonsense going on in Washington that they're dictating and being dictators.
Yeah, It's crazy. Fascism is alive and well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, thank you very much for joining us. And without further ado, if you want to learn more about us and what we do and who we are, go to signal50.com, signal50.com. You'll find a list of all of our outlets on signal50.com, where you can listen to the podcast, check out our website, check out our commentary pages that we've got up there. And we do appreciate your time. We're on all the major podcast platforms now. Rumble, Parler's back. Haven't been using it. We do apologize for that. But Parler is back, everybody. So let's all get over to Parler and go enjoy the conversation over there in the parallel economy away from the tech tyrants.
That's right. And we want to take a moment to thank our firefighters, police, EMS, frontline medical workers, and of course the military for all that you do to keep us safe in this country and some semblance of tradition. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. And I think you got the show. There was a FDNY firefighter that he's in our thoughts and prayers from Engine 64 in Bronx. So
yeah, hats off, brother.
So.
Rest easy. We have the watch from here.
All right. Well, that being said, I think it's time to cue the music, isn't it, there, sir?
We'd like to thank our soldiers, sailors, airmen, firefighters, EMS, first responders, and police officers for protecting us 24/7, 365. Thank you for doing the hard job that you do. Winter's almost over. Things are going to get easier, hopefully, sometime soon. If anybody sees that goddamn groundhog, shoot him between the eyes. I've had enough of this already. Time for spring. It's cold. I've had it. Enough
is enough.
I'm gonna put a hit out on that little rock chuck, and we're gonna take care of his little ass. But anyhow, that being said, everybody have a great week. Have a productive week. Be nice to each other, and be careful out there. Cue the music.
Bye.
Bye.
Again, thanks for listening. This is the end of our Signal 50 transmission.